Hey everyone, so today we're going to be looking at Santa Claus is Coming to Town for Violin 1. And before we get into the specific passages, I just want to talk about the overall character of this piece. So we all love Christmas, the holiday season's coming up. How we can get that jolly character, and when we think of Santa Claus, big round belly, long beard and everything, is really in our bow. So everything that we want to do is in our bow. So the left hand, once you get familiar with the notes, start looking at some of the articulations. For example, in measure 21 and 22, there are no dots on them, but we don't want to play them too long either because we want to get that jolly character. So here's 21 and 22. So notice how I'm not playing exactly short staccatos like in measure 31, where you have... Those are really short, and if you can try bouncing your bow, playing them off the string. But for 21 and 22, things like that, you want to make sure that they're kind of brush strokes that are light, jolly, they're really fun and lighthearted. The same goes for 28, 29. So I'll play 28 for you. 1, 2. So everything is really fun. Keep most of this piece in the middle of your bow. So nothing at the tip or at the frog, but everything's kind of light and in the middle. It'll help you get centered. It'll help you get that character that you're looking for. So the next part I want to talk about is at measure 15 to 17, you have what we call a chromatic passage. That means we're going down basically by a half step with each note. Here's measure 15 to 17 before I go any further. 1, 2. So you might just want to take some time and really practice going from each finger to the next, and use that open string, open E, at measure 16 to help you find the low 4 in the next beat. And the next thing that we want to look at is the pizzicato section at 37. So it's kind of tricky because this piece is pretty fast. Our goal tempo for this is half note equals 90. So that means we're counting in 2, right? This piece is in 4, but we're counting in 2, and they're big beats. So instead it's 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, we're counting 1, 2, 3, 4. And it goes by pretty fast, so I would start slowly with the metronome as usual, but really practice that transition going from 36 into 37. So it sounds like this at a slower tempo. 1, 2. And if you really can't get that pizzicato transition, then it's okay to drop out maybe the downbeat of 37 arco, so you can play the second beat pizzicato, or you can even drop out the first beat of pizzicato, which is the second beat on 37, and just play the third beat. So it's really up to you, but as long as you practice slowly, there's a chance that we can all get this passage no problem by Christmas. So the last thing that I want to talk about is whenever you're on the E string in this piece, as first violinists, we have usually the higher register, we have the melody lines a lot. We want to really dig in and sing. This is the opportunity to follow the curve of your bow. So your bow is actually naturally curved, right? Like a boat almost. And the tighter you tighten your bow, the less of the curve is apparent. So you don't want to you don't want to screw your bow on too tight. And we want to make sure that we're digging in closer to the middle. When we reach the middle of our bow, we want to dig in. And you can always practice this with open strings. So I'll play this open string for now on the E string. And notice how as I get to the middle of my bow, I'm pressing harder than I am at the frog and the tip. So it looks like this. And this kind of practice will really help you with passages like 47 to the end, where we have... So especially the last two notes, the G on the E string, those I really dig into a lot. And this goes for 52 and 53 as well when you have. So really shine there, sing out, don't be afraid, and just have a lot of fun with it. So one thing I do want to say for both of the violin parts is at the very end, measure 58 and 59. So what we have is a down bow D whole note that has a glissando, which means slide, right? So we're sliding our finger all the way down to that open G downbeat at the very last measure. I would actually play both of these measures, 58 and 59, all in one down bow. And basically just place your fourth finger and slide all the way down until you hit the downbeat. So practice with the metronome, but when you were going slowly, it sounds like this. 1, 2. Here, I'll play it again a little bit faster. 1, 2. So the only thing is I would sit on that main note, the fourth finger D, just for a little bit, maybe for half of the measure or even a quarter of the measure, so one beat, before you start that slide, so that the audience can hear what that note is supposed to be before you start that slide. So now I think we're ready to play the whole thing together at half note equals 90. So here is Santa Claus is Coming to Town for violin 1. 1, 2, ready, and